Hi everyone, my name is Isabella and from Team Mexico 2025, and today we're going to learn how to make the full assembly of this robot. For starting, we're going to remove two of the 90 degrees plastic brackets to insert some screws at the front extrusion. Now we're going to remove the nuts from the 90 degrees inferior brackets that go to the side extrusions. Now we're going to insert 8 8mm screws at the top of the front extrusion, also 2 8mm screws at the back of the same extrusion, and finally 6 8mm screws at the front of the front extrusion. Now we're going to insert another 4 8mm screws on the interior extrusions, followed by 2 20mm screws. Also, we're going to insert 2 8mm screws on the exterior extrusion, and we're going to repeat this process for the other side. Don't forget the extra screws for the brackets. After you inserted the screws, you can put the brackets on place. Now, on the motor sides, we are going to insert 3 8mm screws on the interior sides of these two extrusions, just as we did with the past ones. Remember that the plastic brackets allow you to bend the extrusions, and it's easier to insert the screws. Now we're going to put 2 screws and nuts on the vertical side of a metal T-bracket that we're going to place with the 3 screws that we've just inserted. Remember to place the head of the screws facing outwards. Now we're going to take one side of the BIOS system, and we're going to insert the servo extrusion on the metal T-bracket, with the servo facing backwards. Make sure that it is on the correct side and the extrusion is at the top. The bracket can help you align the extrusion. Just make sure that you place it just at the side of it. After you finish, it may look just like this. So we're going to repeat the same step with the other side. Now we're going to need 2 small extrusions and 2 2x2 plastic inside corner brackets. We're going to fill one side of each bracket, and we're going to place them just at the edge of the extrusion. When you finish, they should look like this. Now we're going to place it using the 2 screws that we inserted before and align with the servo extrusion that we have right here. Make sure that the bracket is on the opposite side of the 90-degree plastic bracket. Now we're going to fix the battery holder plate and the control hoof to the interior extrusions of the drivetrain using the 20mm screws and nuts. Now it's time to set up the climber. The motor was removed for easier assembly, so it's important to not leave space between the brackets and the control hoop because we are going to place the climber right next to this, using the 8mm screws and some nuts. The motor has to face the right side with the traction wheels at the front. It's important to place the climber with the sprocket facing the left side. Now it's time to put the motor back in place, and this is how it should look. We are going to place the accelerator using the 2 screws located at the back of the front extrusion and also the 2 screws at the middle at the top of the front extrusion. But we are only going to place the nuts. We are not going to fasten them now. Now we are going to fix the barrier systems with the servos facing inside the drivetrain and using the 8mm screws. Now we're going to fasten the motor of the accelerator just in the middle of the 2 extrusions of the barrier systems. Now the full assembly is done, I will show you how to set up the general electronics of the robot. We are going to use 4 motor cables, 2 for the drivetrain, 1 for the accelerator, and 1 for the climber. We recommend using insulating tape. This helps avoiding pressure on the cables and also makes it harder for the cable to disconnect. Next, the climber. We are going to need a motor cable plugged into port 2. A very helpful practice is to keep a wiring diagram, as when you add more subsystems, it becomes much easier to get lost. This will help you find, change, and check cables in an easier way. Now we are going to connect the accelerator, which also requires a motor cable. Plug it into port 4. If the cable is too long, you can secure part of it to the motor using insulating tape, or you can guide it with side extrusions using zip ties. Let's move on to the barrier system servos. This will use an extension cable. The direct ports are quite sensitive and can easily give unclear information, so we're going to add a small piece of insulating tape around the connections. The left servo goes into port 0 and the right servo into port 1. Finally, the biodiversity system. We will need 2 extensions, and you will connect the left servo on port 2 and the right servo on port 3. Keep in mind that the organization of ports and cables may vary depending on how many systems your robot has and how you prefer to accommodate them. The most important thing is to keep a clear and organized structure that is easy for you to understand. And now, we're done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this explanation was helpful and see you in the next video.